Ever since the military coup in Myanmar, the Burmese military leadership is caught in a fix. While on one side it has been shunned by the Western world, it is too uncomfortable to lean entirely on China. But now the unthinkable has happened. Sensing a brilliant opportunity to enter the Indo-Pacific with a bang, Russia has popped up out of nowhere. And Putin does not care one bit for what he's going to do next to Jinping's Burmese plans. Hi, and welcome to TFI Global. I'm your host Shubhangi. And in this video, I shall discuss with you an interesting development in Southeast Asia, one that can change the equations in the Indo-Pacific for a long time to come. Let's begin. Internal crises and coups often set the stage for a geopolitical contest, and the February coup in Myanmar is no exception. China was the one to play a huge gamble by trying to win favor with Myanmar's military junta. But now Russia's President Vladimir Putin is looking to use Myanmar as his entry ticket into the Indo-Pacific at the expense of China. A recent report published by the Irrawaddy quite literally announces how Putin's Russia has made a grand entry in Myanmar. On March 27, Russia's Deputy Defense Minister Alexander Vasilievich Fomin appeared in his full Colonel General uniform at the Armed Forces celebrations in Naypyidaw. Fomin's appearance is actually quite symbolic and operates as a statement of Russia's intent to strengthen Russian-Burmese military ties. However, it is far more complicated than you think. In fact, Russia's presence in Myanmar harms China more than anyone else. The presence of the Russian Deputy Defense Minister is literally the first good thing that has happened for Myanmar's military junta since the February coup. Up until now, the military junta seemed completely isolated. The Western democracies are actually getting hostile towards Myanmar's military junta for obvious reasons. Other democratic powers like India and Japan too have been hesitant and have sought to maintain a safe distance from the Burmese military. India and Japan cannot afford to support an anti-democracy regime, but Russia can do that. Beijing, on the other hand, does not seem more interested than ever to mark its presence in the Southeast Asian nation. In fact, China's footprints in enabling the coup against Aung San Suu Kyi, the former state councillor of Myanmar, were quite visible. But this was a gamble by China that failed spectacularly because the Burmese military remains averse to Chinese presence. So this is exactly where Putin wants to cash in. Russia's entry into Myanmar gives the Burmese military that one good alternative to Beijing that it was always looking for. Myanmar's military junta does not want to get completely reliant on Chinese armaments because within Myanmar, it is well understood that Beijing cannot be trusted. The senior Burmese military leadership does understand that it is China which has supported Burmese insurgent groups like the Arakan Army. The paper dragon hedges its bets between the insurgent groups, the political powers, and the Burmese military. So, for the Burmese military, it is natural to be a little averse to China and also to be conscious of the inherent risks associated with getting too close to the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Russia, on the other hand, is a refreshing option for Myanmar that does not bring along any baggage with its military supplies. In this sense, Myanmar is a brilliant opportunity for Putin and Russia a brilliant option for the Burmese military. The military junta is waiting for a huge military-industrial complex to come to its rescue, and Moscow can provide exactly that to Myanmar. In doing so, Russia would be harming China's Myanmar ambitions, which involves the Belt and Road Initiative, and perhaps even agitating the anti-China sentiment within Myanmar. Yet Putin does not seem to care about Xi Jinping's interests. Simply put, Putin is ready to cut the BRI projects in Myanmar to size in order to power Russia's entry into the Southeast Asian nation. In fact, what Russia's entry in Myanmar also does is that it actually allows Moscow to pursue its Indo-Pacific interests more overtly. Till now, Russia was indirectly involved in the highly strategic region, even though Russian policymakers continued to criticize the Indo-Pacific concept as superficial. However, once Russia's military industry starts shipping military hardware and ammunition into Myanmar, Moscow would be directly competing with China for influence in the Indo-Pacific. Even without admitting its interests in the Indo-Pacific, Russia will be involved very deeply. China itself does not fancy an external competition in Myanmar. Chinese Foreign Ministry Wang Yi also issued a warning asking the ASEAN nations to alter against external influence. Yet Putin seems undeterred. There is, of course, a domestic angle behind Russia's latest bid to gain a foothold in Myanmar. Putin is presently trying to consolidate himself for the future. The 68-year-old leader has signed a law that allows him to stay in power till 2036. Yet Putin would not feel very secure within Russia. In order to sustain his extended stay, Putin needs a sense of purpose and enormous public support. He needs to show Russians as to why he must stay in the Kremlin for yet another 1.5 decades. And an entry into the Indo-Pacific via Myanmar can be that one big job for which Putin stays in power for some more years. Putin's Russia is therefore entering the Indo-Pacific. The route taken passes through Myanmar, and the biggest collateral casualty here is China.